Hey yo, it's Guido coming after the Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate your support of the channel as always. We have Bean. In his Udes 16, he sent me 2 replays. This will be a 2-pack. There'll be one coming up right after this. And he asked for, hey, a little advice on the Udes 16. Well, he has a couple good games here, and to be quite honest, I don't have a whole lot of advice for him because I did not do that great in this tank. I didn't like it very much. But we're going to watch Bean do some pretty good things with it. In its element, and I'll have several videos on this tank and the tier 10, 15/16. In its element, it's actually quite good. So it's got enough speed to do something like this, where it can come up to this corner, get here before this poor 5120 does, put 371 damage, then the artillery hits it, then the guys up on the hill hit it, and this dude gets past that opening with 35 hit points. So just enough speed to do that. And he's hold down right here, so this is a good spot for him. See if we can get this to come back to me. There we go. So if we come out and look at it, he's not showing a whole lot of his tank. Unfortunately, it's a rear-mounted turret, so probably more of his front than you would like is actually pointed out there. But not a bad spot for this tank. So he'll anchor this corner. He's got quite a few guys with him. Just a couple over there in the south guarding the approach to the cap. Looks like the IS comes around the corner a little bit foolishly. Takes a big hit right in the face. KV-3 goes across, and you will see that Bean will follow up as the KV-3 goes. And the skill there is paying attention to where the enemy tanks are, and when your buddy goes by and they fire, that gives you an opportunity to move forward. He's already noticed that the Udes, the standard B, the other 14-5 have all filtered forward into this little V right here, and they've really pushed back the enemy. Now, this is a good spot. However, if the enemy shows up organized with enough tanks, it's pretty easy to peel you out of here. But if you'll notice, quite a few of their tanks, 2 or 3 of them are in the south, at least 2 are camping. P-43 is down in the pit. There's really just not much here. And unfortunately, that IS-3, what that was? Yeah, IS-3A blocks Bean from being able to get back. I think he would have liked to have peeled back there, but he actually gets in amongst them, and the push ends up working out. Quite a few campers back there. The other Udes 16 on the enemy team, as well as the Leopard PTA, are all camping in the back. He's going to peek around the corner, take a nice shot into the back of that guy. He's running away. That gives them an opportunity to move up through this next cover. The other Udes looks like he wants to poke, and boom, he takes a shot on the approach from Bean. Not a high percentage shot, but it definitely went in. It's certainly higher than not shooting. This guy's now looking the other way, puts another shot into his back. Really nicely done right there. Looks like he wants to push the 14-5. Probably the better answer than pushing into these two, except now there's an Udes 16 up there as well. There's that gun depression issue. If you're not going slow enough to engage the hydraulics, it really has pretty poor depression. So driving fast up and over little ridges like that, you really have to wait till your entire tank starts heading downhill. Much like you would on a Russian hover medium. The Leo happens to be down there, so that was some pretty good timing. I don't know how long it had been since he was lit. That was very strange right there. Must have just been timing it. There's the Leo, so he finds that guy. Nicely done. Auto-aims it. That's a good idea at range like that. Just center a mass on a Leo. Hard to hit a weak spot anyway, and the entire tank is basically a weak spot right there. Auto-aims this guy. Another good use of it. Nice close-in shots. Auto-aim is fantastic, too, on soft targets. And now it looks like the Tiger P wants a piece of his buddy. So he's ignoring Bean. Bean auto, I think you auto aim there as well. I might have just gone for the track. Looks like that's what you did, but if you'd adjusted the aim just a little bit, you might have actually got a track and a bit of damage right there. But sometimes you just do that, throw on the auto aim and hope for the best. This team's not exactly winning via numbers significantly. Pretty good, but as far as map control and where the enemy tanks are, they've basically got this one wrapped up. Down goes another tank, and now the enemy team's going to have a really hard time coming back from this. And it's just all their campers, so typically not very good players kind of hanging back here at the end game camping. Given enough of you left in the game, very, very easy to take out those kind of players. Su-100's got some pretty good, or 101's got some pretty good armor. He's actually going to come around here and get a shot into it. Unfortunately, he takes a hit from the Leopard, who's been falling back the entire game. Hanging out somewhere. Where is he? Maybe up in the bushes up there or something. I didn't see the direction that the shot came from. I think he's probably up in this bush up here. Looks like that's where he went. and then gets a shot in from the 101, and down he goes. But he's got 4,689 damage, 796 assists, and 4 kills. I'd say that's a pretty darn good game right there. Some examples of good places for this tank, some examples of some of its weaknesses, especially that whole poor depression when it's not using its hydraulics can be quite painful. And the rear-mounted turret can be a bit wonky depending on the situation. But nicely played by Bean right there. Did a lot better than I did in this tank, that's for dang sure. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it, and we will. Yo, it's Guido coming back at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back to this episode of World of Tanks. We have... Who do we have? Who is this? This is the map Tundra. But that is not who it is. It is Beanhole Bandit. He is in his Udes 16 Tier 9 Swedish medium tank. He sent this to me. Actually, it was attached to a small droid, and it said something to the effect of, Guido, you're my only hope. Help me. Something like that. And I believe he had buns in his hair. But anyway, I might be thinking of something else. I'm not sure right there. But I said, you know what? Much like Obi-Wan said, you're out of luck, kid. Nothing I can do for it. No, that was Han Solo, wasn't it? But yeah, oh, I hate that. I hate it when people say yeah. You know what I mean? Nearly every video that's made on the internet right now is someone saying yeah. It's like you know, and yeah. It's like let's talk about, hey, stop blocking him. In all honesty, I said to myself, I can't help it. The Udes 16 is not my friend. I am no help to anybody on an Udes 16. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I don't know if he needs any help. They're doing a really nice job right here on this hill. It is a hold-down beast. It really is, given the right situation. Unfortunately, even though he was sort of hold down there, his lower plate was exposed a lot of the time. It looks like he just gets really aggressive and decides to make that guy go away, which I do appreciate. He's got them all down to low hit points, or at least what is this 705 doing? Hey, shoot my underplate. That was bizarre. Gets hit in the side. Everyone sort of forgot about the Hawk 30 sitting up there, which was very strange. Look at them. They're all just like, oh, what am I getting shot at from the side? Little missed opportunity right there, I think. Probably wishes he'd have pickled that one off. And we're basically holding on right here pretty good. I thought, you know, overall this is nicely fought right here. I'm not really sure what... Oh, look out. And another bounce. Look at that. So the Udes 16 on the other side did not get into the lower plate like he was probably aiming for. He's making some pretty bad decisions as far as exposing himself, trying to get shots. And Beanhole Bandit punishes him for said mistake. This is a difficult spot right here when to pop out. I liked that decision right there. He actually took a hit from the E50. I wasn't thinking about that one, but... And I bet he was thinking this. He'll have to let us know down below, but this is a situation where he could pop out and try to get a shot on the 50 TP. Why? Well, even though there's a convoy here, the 50 TP was backing out and blocking the convoy's shot. So that was a really nice decision to come out and look for that shot and get back out. Unfortunately, I don't know if he also forgot. I'd certainly forgot about the E50 right there. Or potentially he just said, you know what, I'll take that hit to get out and get rid of the 50 TP PR. So trades a few hit points for a gun out of the game. I thought this was a pretty good decision right here, swinging around. They're not doing really well over on the west side, so he's going to come back this away. His team is winning. It's 5-3. It's not a runaway win. 6-3. It's getting better. You start to feel the collapse coming on. This is that point in the game right here where the avalanche starts to pick up speed. And unless the enemy team wipes out 2 or 3 tanks really quickly here, more than likely the weight of guns is going to tell who's going to win. And that could certainly happen over on the west side because it's just the Emil and the Oho. However, they do have some backup with a couple TDs, and I don't know why, but an IS-3 way back in the corner helping the TDs camp. He comes around, the convoy's a bit unaware, and that was unfortunate. Convoys reload really quickly. I don't think the convoy really understood that he had him. Probably should have just kept backing up and keep Bean out in the open. However, he wasn't going to have enough oomph to kill Bean, so maybe he was just attempting to see if he could cover up, get a quick shot, maybe bounce one or get a lucky miss. Unfortunately for him, he does not. Bean's up to 2,700, 3 kills. Doing a nice job controlling the middle right now. And it looks like that breakthrough happened, as I discussed. Not really a surprise based on the amount of tanks they had and the amount of tanks Bean's team had. And it's 8-6, so The avalanche did not really happen. Got slowed down from exactly what I said. They're able to take a couple tanks out and push through, but I will tell you, here's the advice for the red team. You should have gone back. You really should have. If you'd have just gone back. He waits for this guy. This guy actually climbs up foolishly. Takes a big hit at 407. Dies to the IS-3. There was somebody messing around the middle. There's a Carnarvon somewhere over there, so you do need to be careful. He looks like he's coming around to see if he can find him. There he is. So he's further back. No problem. Crosses across the open and is able to come out here and look for shots. And oh, golly, that hurt. And it takes 527 of his own hit points away. Looks like he's flexing over the Oho. I'll tell you something right here, Bean, as far as help goes. I think I would have ignored the Oho. And I'd have flexed back towards the middle and attempted to help my team. Now, you're there now, but I'd have done that earlier. The Oho is just going to derp you, you know. Plus, he's facing the Sturv and the Sug 130 PM. It's unlikely he's coming through. And it may have been your plan that you wanted to come up on this spot, which is fine as well. Bounces that guy, unfortunately. But I think I'd have taken a more direct route. And as a matter of fact, once the Carnarvon proved he wasn't up, and I had the guys like the T10 and 50 TPR keeping them kind of honest, I might have gone right across the bridge. However, it's hard to argue with this. Got this guy tracked, hammering the snot out of him. He gets a shot on you. And there's a case where the armor on the Udes didn't work because he had really flat-plated. His hull was so far nose down, that guy was able just to shoot into the top anywhere on his tank. And unless he hit the mantlet or the gun or something, more than likely he was going to pin. Looks like the Oho decided to push in and die. Look for a shot on some TDs. And that's pretty much it. It's all over but the shouting. 4,376. We going to get one more? No. 4,376. 271 assists. 780. Couple critical bounces in there. And 3 kills. Nice job, man. I mean, I know you sent this in and said, hey, little help with the Udes. I'm struggling a bit. And this is what I found with it. You know, I could have games like that, and then I'd have 2 or 3 just terrible games. Given the right situation and team, it was as good as any other tank out there. I know that's a silly thing to say. Obviously, if your team's doing well and it affords you opportunities to shoot and you don't get shot back, you can make any tank work. But you'll note on this one, I didn't see any spots in here where you were really able to use the Udes hold down, right? Sort of on the back edge of the hill, but you were really up on top and more or less had everything exposed to get shots, and that's kind of how that fight goes. Unless they push you back, in which case you're at a huge disadvantage, which would be an advantage for this particular tank, position-wise, but a disadvantage for your team. So I thought you did the right thing as far as pushing up and using your numbers up there and gunning down the enemy team, who had similar numbers but just played quite a bit poorly. That 705 made a big difference once he got in there and started punching people in the face as well. All right, man, thanks for sending that in. I don't think I didn't really come down on any specific advice right there. I did struggle with the Udes 16 unless it was in its element. So there you go. I don't know. It's just not a great tank. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it, and we will see you.